Good morning, everybody. I toast you. And all you do, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Tried to make this video yesterday, but I didn't get up early enough in the morning. The neighbors were awake, the kids were awake. I started filming, and then it was like, people, stuff going on. Like, well, this isn't working. So we'll try again tomorrow. It's very early today. As you can see, it's pretty hazy still. The sun's trying to come up, but I figured I would do a little walkthrough on the garden since everything is in bloom, and I just moved everything outside yesterday. Not everything, but a lot of stuff outside, which I'm actually kind of sad because it's going to be 70 to 60 degrees today, and not as warm as I had hoped it would be, but that's okay. It'll rain, and my baby plants will get some rain. Hopefully it's not too cold. Please don't be too cold. Anyways, okay, so first, let me set my coffee down. So first, we have my chives. Look how amazing they are. They're about to go to flower. I'm letting them go all the way. The flowers are just amazing. Let's see if we can get right up there. It's just amazing. They are beautiful. Letting those go to seed. I'm going to have this part of the path filled with chives. And then over here, I've got my borage coming in, which is starflower, it's also called. It's great for attracting butterflies. It's got lots of magical purposes. I don't remember off the top of my head. Of course, there's woodbine everywhere. Woodbine. I need to find the magical practice of woodbine because then I'll have something useful for it. I put my lemongrass back outside. It's kind of sad this morning, as you can see, but I divided it. I watched this gardener from like Indonesia or wherever do it, and he went outside with a pickaxe. And he's like, I'm going to divide up these things. I got a pickaxe. And he started hacking away at it, and I was like, oh my god, that's like crazy. I don't need to do that. That's like mean to that plant. Like how, like, ah. And then I got my lemongrass outside, and I got it out of the pot, and I like gently separated the roots from the bottom, and then I figured I would just be able to like pull the grass apart. No. I really did have to like put all my body weight on it with the shovel and go from 3 different angles to get it to cut all the way around. It was crazy. Look at, here's Fred. You see him? Huh? He says, don't film me. He came over yesterday while my sister and I were working. She couldn't believe it, but he came in and he was pulling stuff out of the compost. She's like, oh my god, he came so close to us. I'm like, yeah, that's it. That's Fred. Alright, so let's go over here. So the purple sage and the tricolored sage, they didn't come back. The purple sage tried to, but it just doesn't get warm enough fast enough in spring here for the purple sage and the whatever sage to come back. They didn't have it. So now I've got some yellow wild daisies growing here, which are all over my husband. So funny. He just like hacked them with the weed whacker. I was like, those are flowers. He's like, oops. I think it's alright. So we have our broadleaf sage. This came back beautifully. Like I said last year, I just love these big leaves. They're really nice for rolling smudge sticks. And it just creates a really pretty foliage because it's got really big leaves. This has a pretty good musky, naturey, whatever, sagey smell, kind of like the kitchen sage. Then look at my grapes. Look at how good it's doing. Right here next to my golden sage. Hey, moth. Fly away. I guess it's too cold to eat my leaves. So we have our golden sage. This makes a really, plant's in the way. This makes a really pretty ground covering type sage. It doesn't get much taller than this. So it's about my hand from the ground. And it's got these beautiful golden leaves on it. It makes really nice smudge sticks. They have a light, crisp smell to them. Like not as heavy sage as some of the other sages. It's more of a delicate smell, I guess. And it burns really nice. We actually just used one in my path cleansing ritual I did the other day. And it was really nice. It came out nice. But I like this because it is ground covering. And it just makes these little cute mounds. And then, I'm so excited, I found Clary sage seeds. So I have one sprout here, and I planted 2 over at the farmhouse. But So here's our Clary sage. It's got the broader leaves on it. Let's see, get a little closer. It's got the broader leaves on it, kind of like the broadleaf sage, and it's very hairy. I just transplanted it yesterday, so it's kind of in shock still. Hopefully it does good. My other grape claim black, and then I've got this lettuce that just popped up. So with the lettuce, at the end of the year, I'll just pick a couple places and I'll literally bury the lettuce seeds in the lettuce flowers. And I had 2 really good patches, 3 actually, come up. And so that was nice. It's like a nice spring. I've got lettuce. But then we just turn it back in and it helps to build up the soil to add nutrients for our garden. As you can see, I've got pumpkins planted. I only did 1 zucchini this year. More pumpkins. I did peanut pumpkins this year, which get like they're a really sugary pumpkin that have they're good for pumpkin pie, but they get like what looks like peanuts all around the outside. So I'm excited to see that. They were actually hard seeds to find. I've been looking and looking. I looked all year last year, and I finally found a company. I think they're in Missouri that does natural, organic, non-GMO, non-Monsanto, all of that stuff. Amazing seeds, and they had those. So I was really excited. I've got, you can't really see them, but I've got tomatoes, and peppers galore. See all my peppers right here? I got more peppers inside. I got a row of habaneros I got to add. So I'm going to be making hot sauce this year. It'll be very exciting. Lots of tomato sauce. I keep waiting for these to open. This is my kitchen sage. It is getting the most, let's see if it'll focus, the most beautiful flowers on it. They haven't quite opened yet. They're absolutely amazing looking. I do have some grasshopper damage. The grasshoppers are my enemy. We battle. Look at, oh, these ones are opening. Look at how pretty that is. Let's see if I put my hand behind it, you can see it better. See how pretty that is? Maybe? It's hard to see, but this is beautiful. This is a happy kitchen sage. It is the classic kitchen sage, and it is, oh my goodness, happy. I've never had one flower this much before. Like maybe get 1 or 2 flowers, but not like this. This is amazing. Like the whole top of this is gonna flower. I'm gonna have a bunch of sage flowers. They are just so pretty. Like it's just amazing. And then once they start to open up, like this is the only one I've seen that's all the way open. It's hard to see the flower because they're just, it's a different kind of flower. I don't know. They're so pretty though. I don't know if the camera is focusing on it. Anyways, so that's the kitchen sage. I don't use it for cooking. I use it for magic. So I will, once these flowers are 90% open, I'll clip them. And then we'll make smudges with the leaves. Next, we have the Russian sage, which I clopped back all the way. So some, depending on the gardener, some people will cut it all the way, like in public when I see them, they cut them all the way to the ground. And they just cut them off early in the spring, and then they let them come back out. I didn't cut mine back all the way that far, almost though. But, I mean, last year it was waist high, so now it's only shin high. It will get bigger again. This is the most musky of the sages. I'm very excited to see how the oil comes out that we made with the flowers and to see if it makes it blue. But again, this is definitely more of a musky sage. It has more delicate little dainty flowers, but it gets leaves. It gets these beautiful, big, bushy nature, and they got a lot of flowers on them, which the bees loves. Now, I've got the most pretty meadow sage, or blue bonnet. That one might be okay. This one is a blue meadow sage. I can't remember what the other one is. These are both ornamental sages, so they're still in the sativa family, but their leaves don't have as much of the aromatic properties. The flowers, on the other hand, do, and these are beautiful. Let's see, I don't know if the camera does it justice. They are the most purple. This one is just so deep purple. So with this plant, since we don't use the leaves because they don't have the same smell, we will soon, very soon, because these are almost all getting open. Once it's about 90% open, I'll come out here and I'll deadhead all the flowers, which means that you just like clip it, right? So for this branch, you see right here where my fingers are, how it comes to 3 points. You have 2 little flowers and one that's already blooming. Once this one is mostly open, we'll clip this right down here where it comes out, and then it'll give the plant energy to put these other 2 to flower, and we'll have a second flowering. And you can see there's even more flowers that are behind that. And so each time you deadhead it and you clip off some of these flowers, it just makes space for the next one. It's one of those things, like as a gardener, you're like, oh, I don't want to cut my flowers and I don't want to hurt my plant. But actually what you're doing is helping your plant. It doesn't need the energy to put into those flowers, so you can help it move its energy to where it's more needed. So you clip it back and deadheading the flowers or cutting them off. So then over here, this one has pink flowers. Look at how pretty those are. It's hard to see in this light. Let's see if we get a little closer. See, they're pink. Last year, I actually had a pineapple sage planted here. And under the pineapple sage, there was just like this little sage growing, this little ornamental sage growing. And I was like, oh, how cute. Now this year, it's come back with force. And it's taken this spot over in the garden. It says, you don't need to plant anything. So we had to put all of the pineapple sage at the farmhouse. The pineapple sage's smudge sticks have this really fruity sage smell to them that's really light. It's really good. Okay, so now, my dragon mother. Well, this is Russian Tarragon. It is amazing. It grows so well. I don't know if you can tell, but look, see, it's like, it comes up to my rib cage. Like, it's a big plant. Now, when I bought this, I thought it was French Tarragon. I was not Tarragon savvy. Tarragon that we use in the kitchen is French Tarragon. It is, now my hands just smell like sage, so of course they don't smell this. Very aromatic. Russian Tarragon, on the other hand, is not as aromatic. It does get big and beautiful. It's an amazing plant. And it has the principles of a dragon and connecting with fire and all of these amazing things. But the French Tarragon is not nearly as aromatic. Last year I collected pretty much the whole plant. I was kind of disappointed with the flavor. It has a tiny bit of that licoricey, anisey flavor, but not like the French Tarragon. So this year I went out to 3 different garden stores, eating their tarragon in the store, and tasting all of the French Tarragon until I found one that I really liked. I was like, oh, this one has a good potent flavor. French Tarragon is propagated by cuttings and not by seed, so it'll never go to seed. You'll have to clip it, and you have to get it as a clipping. And so find one that you like the flavor, and then plant that. And then so I have a little baby French Tarragon right here. So this one is also the Tarragon, but this is French Tarragon. Aside from that it's teeny tiny baby plant, the leaves look identical. You can't really tell the difference. The reason that I knew last year that the Russian Tarragon was Russian, for sure, is because it went to flower, and I got flowers and seeds. The French Tarragon has been propagated through cutting for so long that it actually doesn't get flowers anymore, and it doesn't go to seed, and it just doesn't do those things, because for hundreds of years now, we've just clipped it and clipped it and clipped it. Look, here's a random weed I'll show you that's very useful. This is called shepherd's purse. And it gets these dainty white flowers on it. And it has these little leaves that look kind of like hearts. Let's see, there you go. Can you see it? Kind of like a heart. I was watching a video on them the other day. The folklore is they're called shepherd's purse because shepherds used to keep sheep testicles as purses, and apparently this is what they look like. I don't know if that's the lady who was saying it. She of the Woods. It's a channel I follow. I love her, but she doesn't know where she learned from her grandma. She doesn't know if that's true, but it just helps you to remember. And they get these dainty little white flowers on the top. These are really good. If you have a lot of bleeding going on, you can take the tincture internally. It can also help on like a poultice to stop bleeding. They're really good at that. And then So my English lavender didn't come back this year. It was too cold and it didn't get enough sun and it just wasn't in the right place for winter. But this year I went and got French lavender because the French lavender has more aromatic oils in it, and I'm hoping to capitalize on that, I guess. But I have French tarragon, or French lavender. This is my French section of the garden. So French lavender, the flowers look like this. They have these little 3 leaves that come off the top, 4 leaves, petals that come off the top, and then this cluster. English lavender doesn't have these little leaves coming off the top. It's just a cluster. This smells amazing. I just planted it, so it's very happy. Hopefully it survives. And then my blueberries came back. Look at my blueberry bush. It's so happy. And my lamb's ear looks like they got seriously something on. I think my dog peed on it. I'm going to have to wash that. And my angel hair mound. This is Japanese wormwood or mugwort. It has a lighter mugwort or wormwood flavor, smell, like absinthe, but just not as strong. It's amazing. Like, I don't know. It feels so nice. And it's so big and bushy. And it's super easy to propagate. Just come down here, pull you off a little doohickey, and stick them in some water, and that'll make me a new mound. I'm growing some inside to plant over at the farmhouse also. This, it just has a really, almost like the anise kind of smell, but not really. This is really light and mild. It's really nice for kids' gardens, and it is just a happy plant. So, that's the front garden. Give me a second and we'll go check out that's the back garden. Give me a second, we'll go check out the front garden. I almost forgot, as I was coming to get my coffee, I have a few things that I wanted to show you in the path. So, this ground cover is amazing. It hasn't opened up because it's still early in the morning, but in the afternoon it'll get these really, you can see the blue flowers. They're amazing. It's called Veronica. I have it in light Veronica also, which is getting these little white flowers now. It's just been an amazing ground cover. It came back amazingly. And so that's been awesome. I also have this ornamental yellow clover. It's getting little yellow flowers. This is so fun because when it goes to seed and you brush it like this, it literally shoots its seeds. We have lemon thyme, which it looks like the ants are trying to take over. No ants, you cannot live here. Just keep messing up their home. Anyways, that is like, oh my god, lemony. Like, so lemony. Okay, so then we have the oregano. This is ready to be trimmed back. So I'm going to come back here with a pair of scissors as soon as I'm done with this video and make an oregano video. You can see the oregano. Oregano grows so well that I literally, just like I did with that other stuff, I pulled something from the back. It had roots on it. This didn't have roots on it. And I planted it over there, right here. And it's coming in so nicely. Like, it had a little shock. I don't know if I'm in the right space. Let's see. But it's got a little shock. As you can see, it's like, got a little dead leaf. But it's already real rooted. If I pull on it, it's totally rooted. And now I have oregano here. I also have this fancy oregano, which has these really pretty leaves. Just looks ever so slightly different. Here we go. It is really pretty, and it gets these interesting flowers on it. It has a great taste. It's a very potent. This is more pungent almost. I don't know. It's got a very strong. And then I bought pineapple mint. So I added 2 more mints. I now have 5 mints. I have plain mint, chocolate mint, spearmint, which my plain mint. My husband did the same thing with the weed whacking. He came back here. He just weed whackered the whole thing. He's like, honey, I think I just weed whackered your mint. I'm like, yeah, you did. Don't worry, it'll come back. So anyways, I've got normal mint, chocolate mint, spearmint, and then I just brought strawberry mint and pineapple mint. I think that they'll go be a good aromatic quality for like the soaps and whatnot. But look at this pineapple mint. It's got a very light color. Let's flip you around here. See that? It has white leaves, and it smells like a pineapple. Like, no joke. Like pineapple candy, I guess. We just planted it, so it's a little sad, but it'll come back. It'll be amazing, and it's going to take over this section. It'll be my pineapple mint path to my altar. So you see my altar's over there. Trying to teach the kids not to walk over it, which has been a struggle. So, I think, oh, my lemon balm. I'll show you my lemon balm. It's very happy. It's getting really big leaves this year. If you see my lemon balm video from last year, the leaves aren't this big. This year they're amazing and big. This is also almost ready to be trimmed back. And there's one coming in here. I planted some more over here and over here. See, here's one of my patches of lettuce. I just laid the lettuce down here once it went to flower, and I covered it. And now this year, look, it's even in a nice pretty row. All right, so now I'll go to the front. Okay, so now we're out front. And first thing is my strawberry mint, which looks pretty much just like any other mint. Got really little flowers. It's very delicate looking. I don't know, the leaves are smaller. And it, again, has this amazing strawberry smell. Smells like strawberry gum. Speaking of strawberries, look it! The bugs are already eating it. See my strawberry. We've got some strawberries. Just shake them off. Get the bugs off. I keep telling my kids. Look, here's another one. I'm telling the kids. Let's see if we can see in there. That one's being eaten. Roly-poly. You gotta come in here and shake all the strawberries. If you shake the strawberry plants and you dust them off and you pick up the red strawberries and you touch your strawberries a lot, it will cut down on the bugs. But bugs love strawberries. So, my witch's grass. Let's see. See the little purple flowers? That's my witch's grass. It's growing in really nicely. My hollyhocks are getting ready to bloom, which is also awesome. And then we have the chocolate mint, which you can see gets these chocolate covered stems. I've heard some people say that it tastes like chocolate, but I don't think so. I'm trying to keep the spearmint, chocolate mint. You can kind of see the difference. I'm trying to keep the spearmint on that side and the chocolate mint on this side. So I just pull these little runners. But the spearmint is growing. I mean, it comes all the way out over here. It's very strong smelling. But so we have our chocolate mint and our spearmint, which is growing very tall. And then, ta-da, ta-da, I bought another columbine plant, but I didn't have a red one. So I had to buy a red one. So, we have the yellow columbines with the blue ones behind it. And then I've got my little red one. It was dying at the store. And now it's so happy it's coming back to life. Then I've got the purple one over there. It's my lilacs. And the iris is about to bloom. And check out this. Let's see if you can see it. It's so dainty, it's kind of hard to see. This is an asparagus plant. And yes, it is taller than I am. Crazy! The birds get really close, if you didn't notice. Anyways, so I have two. There's this one and there's one that's a little shorter. You've got to check out my Instagram page. I took some really cute pictures of the flowers. It's hard at the camera while I'm recording to zoom in. But it has, let's see, here's some. These super tiny little flowers hanging from it. See, like right there? They're so tiny. They're so cute. They look like little bells. They're so pretty. And then hopefully I'm going to get flowers from my lilacs. They look like they're about to flower. We'll see. We're waiting. So, that's the garden. It's coming in really nicely. It's very exciting. We're going to have a lot of amazing things this year. straight from the garden. If you have any gardening questions, if you're interested and you want to subscribe, like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think, let me know about your garden, and I hope everybody has a fantastic day. We will see you all soon.